Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name's Corinne Bradd, and today I want to show you how you can make a mini album for a wedding, 21st birthday party, just an instant photo album like this one here. It's very small, but you can fill it full of photographs literally in an instant, using the Brother colour label printer, which is an ink-free colour printer. It's the VC-500W, and essentially it will print you out a colour label with a sticky back for you to pop in your album. So I'm going to show you how to make the album first of all. I'm going to put my reading glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to make this. I quite like the sepia tone that they have on the software, which I'll show you in a minute. So you want to cut yourself some pieces of card that are 15 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. So that when you then score them down the middle, you'll make a 7.5 centimetre square page. So I'll just use a ruler and a scoring tool. And I'm using a dark brown for the inner leaves. So it's got that vintage, sort of like 1950s style photo album. Score them all. Fold them along your score line. Helps if you scored them straight in the first place, so they make a nice clean square. And then slip one inside the other. Tamp them all together. And then while you're holding it in an upright V shape, if you grab yourself a pointy stick tool, as I like to call it, or a needle tool, and just make a couple of holes all the way through all of the folds, so they come out on the other side. Grab yourself a needle and some embroidery thread, and I'm using all 6 strands of embroidery cotton here in a coordinating colour, and simply pop it through from the outside to the inside and back out again. Tie it in a knot, and if you tie it in a reef knot, what it means is you can tighten that knot up without having to keep your finger in it. Just simply pull one of the threads and squeeze that down, and then tighten that knot with the other thread. Tie it in a neat bow. Like so, and trim the ends of your thread off. And also what I'd always recommend is with something like this, unless you want it to come apart to add more pages to it, just put a little dob of PVA on that knot so it stays tied up. Now obviously what you will need to do, because you've got pages one inside the other, is just take your ruler and trim off where the inner pages slightly extend the outer ones. So there you've got the beginning of your album. And then what you might want to do is add a cover to it. And this is where this little printer comes so handily. Let's just take that cartridge out. I'm going to put a 19mm cartridge in there. I'm going to set myself a 19mm by 7.5, I said, didn't I? So 75mm label. Let's just shrink that down. And I'm going to put a background on there. I'm going to put a bumblebee background on there, which is quite cute. That's okay. And I'm going to print this, and I'm going to print this twice. And this is how simple this label printer is. You can do all of this on your phone or your tablet, and it will just take the information over your Wi-Fi signal, or if you're doing it on a tablet, you can do it through a USB cable, and it will print out a couple of little border strips for you. There's the first one. And because you're printing two labels simultaneously, it won't cut it. It will kiss cut it so that you can take the labels apart, but it won't cut the background strip. So you don't lose that sort of like 8mm at the beginning. And there we go. So you can simply crack it, peel away your sticker, and place it across the top of your album. Try and place it straight across the top of your album. And you can see this has just come out of the machine, but because it's ink-free, you don't have to wait for something to dry. It will just print out on almost like a laminated finish, and it's smudge free. Right, I'm just going to trim those excess bits off. And then I'm going to change my cartridge to a slightly wider one. What you need to do is you need to press the cartridge button and wait till it goes blank, and then you can safely just pull out the cartridge. So I'm going to swap it for a wider 25mm one. I'm going to change the size, so it's now a 25mm. I'm going to keep it as 70, no, in fact I'm not going to keep it at 75cm. I'm going to change it to about 45cm. And then I'm going to add some text. Just photos. We'll have it in not San Diego, Portugal typeface. Bold. Shrink it down a bit. In fact, actually, I can probably shrink it down a bit with the typeface rather than using my fingers. Centre it, and I'm going to change the colour so that it actually stands out on that background. Let's change it to a brown. And also I'm going to do it as a reversed out lettering as well, so you've got a brown outline with white. So that's done. We'll OK that, and we'll just print one copy. So there's our label saying photos. Peel the backing off, and I'm just going to mount this onto a piece of dark brown card, just to layer it up so it stands out more. And obviously the label is sticky, but the piece of card that I've stuck it to is not sticky. So you will have to get your reliable glue stick out to pop it in the centre of your cover. So what you could do is you could make up a handful of these little photo albums, leave them scattered around wedding tables, and also if you then cut yourself in advance some 6.5 squares of a contrast print, a contrast colour cardstock. So what you can do is change your cartridge again to a 50mm. Bring up a new label that you're going to put an image in, and let's have this image here. Insert it. Check the size of your label, 50mm by 52mm. I actually want it 50mm, I want it square. And then I'm going to print this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sepia tone on it. One thing I did also want to point out is every time you change your cartridge, the software very handily tells you how many millimetres you've got left on that cartridge. So I've used about 1 metre of the 5 metre roll, and that's a really handy option. Hang on a minute, I need to filter this, don't I? It is a really handy option. Here we go, filter. You know, if you are going to print these out at a wedding, you need to know how much you've got left. There's nothing worse than someone being disappointed because you've printed out 8 photographs of their cousin and none of them. So I'm going to change this to instant, OK it, and print it. And while that's printing, I'm just going to take some previous photos, like this one here, peel your backing off, carefully place it on your pre-cut square. And also the great thing about the adhesive on these photographs is if you have slightly misplaced it, it will peel off again without tearing your card. And then you can simply glue your photographs onto the leaves of your album. Here's one that I've just printed out here. Peel the back off. Pop it on your matting sheet. And pop it in your album. So you've got the opportunity to take some really great candid shots with your phone and then immediately print them out, pop them in an album, and then present them to the guest of honour at the end of the night. And I think it's quite a nice gift. It's an unexpected gift. And the photo reproduction is really good. For an ink-free printer, it's never going to come out as brightly as it shows on your phone because obviously your phone is shining light out at you, and when you're looking at a print, light's being reflected off it. But for an ink-free instant printer, I don't think you can fault this. So I hope you like that demonstration. We'll put some details on the printer in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. And I hope you have fun making some mini albums that you can present as a surprise gift at the end of the night. Please come back and see us again very, very soon. We've got lots of videos on lots of different subjects and there's something there for everyone. Please subscribe to us if you would and check your notifications because we have a video going up every week. It'll always be something a little bit different, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Till the next time, please keep safe. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.